Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel for returning viewers. For new viewers, welcome to Larry's House of Hockey. And I'm going to go on a little rant here. Just a little bit of a rant here. Because this ticked me off hearing this. Now, the Winnipeg Jets, they've had issues lately with season tickets. And reading this article here in The Athletic by Chris Johnston of SDPN fame and all that, he wrote this article, and he was and the season tickets for the Winnipeg Jets, it's kind of been an issue. Attendance has kind of been an issue for the Winnipeg Jets. Now, they have the Jets have the smallest. They have the smallest permanent arena in the NHL. Their arena capacity is only 15,225. That's what their arena holds. And apparently they're only drawing 87.4% of capacity this season, which is apparently the third lowest in the NHL. Now, he goes and says here their overall average attendance of 13,306 is the lowest of any NHL team other than the Arizona Coyotes. We'll be talking about them here shortly too. But the season ticket base has really fallen off. They used to be able to get 13,000 season ticket holders, which in Winnipeg, that's pretty darn good. Well, right now they're only getting about they're just under 9,500. That's not good. That is definitely not good. Now, it has come out, and Mark Chipman, the owner and chairman of the Winnipeg Jets, have said, we've got to get back to 13,000. We can't just have 9,500 season ticket holders. We got to get back up to 13,000. Now, in this article also, it talks about, why did they stop coming? Why did the fans stop coming? What would convince fans to return? I'll tell you why they stopped coming. It all stems back, everything bad that's going on in economy-wise, everything, it all dates back to 2020. When everybody in the world went collectively stupid. Let's shut down the world here. We can flip an economy on and off just like a light switch. It don't work that way. We're finding that out. That to me, that's why. You had that. You couldn't have fans in the arena for almost 2 years in Canada. Then you had Joe Biden get elected here in the United States, which then sparked inflation, and inflation has gone nuts. Everything is higher. Nobody's pay is really getting higher. The value of the dollar continues to drop because inflation. Higher the inflation, the lower the dollar value. And what does inflation cause? It causes prices to skyrocket. You're seeing that with season tickets. Canada is really, and Canada, they pay all their players in American money. So Canada is really feeling it, because the Canadian dollar is, compared to the American dollar, is, what is it, like 77 cents? If somebody knows for sure, let me know in the comments section. I don't think the Canadian dollar is even worth 80 cents compared to the American dollar. That's a problem. And I honestly think that is one main reason as to why It's not because the Jets are a bad team. The Jets have been flirting with one of the best records in the entire league all year. There was a point they had the best record in the league. They're flirting right now. They're only a couple of points out of first in their division. They re-signed Mark Scheifele and Connor Hellebuck to long-term extensions. So it's not the play on the ice. And what gets me, and this is what ticks me off, because the term, well, it just might not work in Winnipeg, so we might have to move them. That's where this ticks me off, because you have the Arizona Coyotes in the league. You have the Arizona Coyotes, who, by the way, even 9,500 season tickets, that is still more than double what the Coyotes are drawing. And yes, I might get a little amped up here, because this bothers me, because you have the Arizona Coyotes in this league. They can't even sell that arena out with their own fans. They say, Mullet Arena's full. Not with their fans. It's the Toronto Maple Leafs just played their earlier this last week. More than half the building were Leaf fans. So the Coyotes can't even get their own fans in there. The building's being filled by other team fans. And the arena is 4,500 maximum. 4,500. And people are saying that, Winnipeg's going to be unsustainable because they're only getting 9,500 season ticket holders. Compared to 4,500 maximum capacity in Mullet Arena for the Coyotes? Really? But we're going to go balls to the wall to keep this team, this Coyotes team, this disaster of a franchise that has been a disaster since they moved there. And the NHL has gone and bent over backwards time and time and time again to keep that team viable. Well, you have a team in Winnipeg. They spent 11 years in Atlanta. Atlanta didn't work. They lost their building. They had to move the team somewhere right quick. And that's where Mark Chipman came forward and said, "We have a building right here. Bring them here." They go to Winnipeg. The Winnipeg Jets are reborn. And the Winnipeg Jets have been in the league now, since 2011, I think is when they came back. 2011 or 11-12, I think was the first year back in Winnipeg. And they sold over 13,000 season tickets. For that first year, they sold out season tickets within 5 minutes. 13,000 plus season tickets were sold within 5 minutes that first year they were back. And they had, as it says, they had 332 straight sellouts upon the Jets' return in October 2011. So yeah, 2011, 2012. And it's crazy. And this article too that Chris Johnson talks about, it says it's difficult to imagine another member of the NHL Board of Governors rolling up their sleeves to this degree, but failure to turn the situation around could threaten the 2.0 version of the Jets' ability to remain healthy and competitive in the long term. That was said by Mark Chipman. Now again, I get his thought process, but this is where I say you have the Arizona Coyotes in this league. This team who can't get an arena. The NHL continues to wait on the ownership to figure out, are we going to get land for a building? And they talked about this more than almost a year ago now. We'll have a piece of land pretty quick and we'll have this all set up after the Tempe vote fell through. What's happened? Nothing. Nothing has happened. They keep saying, well, we're in on this land, or we're looking at this, or we're looking at this. They still have nothing concrete. They still have no plan of what to do. And even if because here's the thing, even if they figure out a spot, if they get a plot of land and are able to get an arena built, you're talking, even before you get shovel into the ground, you've got to do all the different things that have to be done to survey the land, to make sure the land is clean or whatever. That alone is going to take a year plus before you even think about getting, shovel in the ground. And then it's going to take you probably at least 3 years to get an arena. You are talking about the Arizona Coyotes potentially not getting an arena for at least the next 5 to 6 years. So they're going to play in Mullet Arena every year? I don't understand. Why do we keep... I mean, yes, I know Arizona is a big market. And yes, they have fans. There are a lot of Coyote fans, and I feel bad for them because they have been put through the ringer with this franchise. And I know they don't want to lose their team. I get that. I fully understand it. But they're proving they're not a viable franchise right now. And this is what makes me wonder, when they go and say, well, we're gonna privately fund this new arena. Like they're Jerry Jones, for crying out loud. They're not Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones never had a problem trying to pay his bills in an arena where you were almost on the verge of being evicted out of. Where you couldn't pay your rent. You weren't paying your vendors. Jerry Jones never had that problem when he was building Jerry World down there, and that was a $2 billion stadium. But they're going to be able to finance this all themselves in Arizona. You couldn't pay your bills to stay at Gila River. I don't get it. And you're playing out of a college arena right now, who, by the way, you can't even fill up with your own fans. And they're talking, the Jets might end up having to move. If I had a blood pressure machine, I swear to God, you'd be seeing it go up right now, because you're going to tell me that the Jets' health in Winnipeg is possibly on life support when you have the Arizona Coyotes in this league. This is what bothers me, because it goes to show that I really wonder, does the NHL really want teams in Canada? Do they really want teams in Canada? Because we're bending over backwards for Arizona. And I'm sorry, they still haven't got a plan yet. And I don't know, and until the NHL forces the hand of the Coyotes and says, listen, you have until this date to have a plan for an arena. Have a plan to get a piece of land, purchase it, and get something started. You have until this day, or it's over. We're done. You gone. You're out. We will relocate you. We'll move you to Salt Lake City. We'll move you to Houston, somewhere. Hell, maybe even Quebec. Why not? Something. There has to be a drop-dead date for the Coyotes here. Do I see that happening? I don't, unfortunately, and that's a problem. The NHL just will not give up on this Arizona plan. But we're all ready to throw in the towel for Winnipeg. We're going to have to relocate them. The Winnipeg Jets are a team. They have fans. They have way more fans than Arizona does. And yet, we might have to move the team out of Winnipeg. Winnipeg might not be viable for the long term. But Arizona has been. Arizona's been in the league for almost 30 years. There has not been not one season that team has ever made a profit. Never. They've never made a profit. And it just... And it does. This topic really bugs me. Because the fans in Winnipeg, they were so happy to get their team back. And yes, season tickets are down. But again, it stems from 2020. COVID comes along, everybody gets collectively stupid, shuts everything down. Fans cannot be in Canadian buildings for almost 2 years because the Canadian government was so dumb. Kind of like the American government and everything. And look what's happening. You know, it is just insane. It is insane that this is happening. And the Jets are a good team. They are a good team. Now, is there a good way to potentially get the season ticket holders back in? I think there is. You can find a way. I mean, I understand with inflation and everything, tickets are expensive. I mean, to take a family to a hockey game, it's down here. If my family went and got tickets for a game, where it was me, my wife, the kid, 3 tickets, parking, everything else. It's $300-$400 easily, depending on where you're sitting. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. There has to be a way, whether it's the different ticket packages you're offering. Find a way to lower the price somehow, without completely losing your shirt. This is the thing. Trying to, we always talk about, they try to lower prices. Yeah, it's not that easy, because you have the highest inflation rate that we've had in probably 30 years right now. We're seeing the type of inflation that, honestly, and even then when they go and say, oh, the inflation rate's only at like 8%. No. If you actually calculated it the way they used to calculate inflation, the inflation rate would be at like 30 to 35% right now. But, they have the way they like to fudge the numbers. They say, oh, 8%. It's a disaster. The inflation rate is, I think, a big driver of all of this. And it is the American economy that drives a lot of these other economies of Canada and England and wherever else. And that is a big thing that I think is really affecting the Winnipeg Jets right now. It literally drives me crazy, though, that people are talking about, the health of the Winnipeg Jets, and the Jets might have to move. As to which I say, and you have the Arizona Coyotes in this league. I don't know. To me, don't talk to me about the health of the Winnipeg Jets until you have something concrete to say about the Arizona Coyotes and their health and their viability. I'll take the viability of the Winnipeg Jets 100 times over the viability of the Arizona Coyotes. And again, I understand the Coyotes have fans. They have fans down there, and I feel bad for them because they're going through the ringer. Austin Matthews, if the Arizona, the Arizona Coyotes have done some good things while being in the NHL. If the Arizona Coyotes weren't in the NHL, would we have Austin Matthews right now? Austin Matthews grew up in Arizona. He grew up watching the Arizona Coyotes. That's what made him a hockey fan, was watching the Coyotes. So the Arizona Coyotes have done good in the past. Now, not so much. But I just, to me, you cannot talk about it. You can't compare the two on the same level as, well, the viability of the Winnipeg Jets is more in peril than the viability of the Arizona Coyotes. That to me is insane. Because the Jets, even at 9,500 season tickets, you're still drawing double what the Coyotes are drawing. The Coyotes, again, like I said, they can't even draw fans into their own building. The building's full. Yeah, with half of the other team. You had, what was the, I'm not sure exactly what the attendance was for the Toronto game when Toronto came to town, when Austin Matthews came in. But even if that building was full, if you have 4,500 people in there, when you have more than 2,500 or more that are Leaf fans, that are all wearing Toronto Maple Leaf stuff, are you sure that that's? Are you sure? Because the Coyotes can't even draw their own fans in there. I don't know. I don't know. But the fact that it's the fact that the Coyotes, that nobody's talking about the the Coyotes, and how that we're gonna have to relocate them. They're still not talking about that. They're still just waiting for Coyotes ownership to figure out, we got this piece of land finally. League's been waiting, and they're just going to keep on waiting. While they'll be but yet these same people are going to go and say, Winnipeg's not viable because they're only selling 9,500 season tickets. They're not viable. We're going to have to move them. When you have the Arizona Coyotes in this league. So yeah, that's my little rant. Little bit of a rant. Little pissed off at this situation, and just the idea that the Winnipeg Jets could move if their season tickets don't go up and get back to where it was a few years ago. But yet you have the Arizona Coyotes playing in a college rink, which, by the way, no other NHL team would be afforded that luxury. None. Only them. Because, for example, if the Minnesota Wild, not that this is obviously happening, if the Minnesota Wild lost their lease to play in the XL Energy Center, and they tried to then petition the University of Minnesota to play out of Mariucci Arena, on the University of Minnesota campus, college campus. Do you really think the NHL is going to go and say, absolutely, go right ahead? Hell no. The NHL is going to look at it and be like, what are you, nuts? Because it's a college rink. Even though that college rink draws more than Arizona State, Mariucci Arena, the capacity on that place is like 10 or 11,000 people. But the league would never let the Minnesota Wild play out of there. They would be the first one. Oh, got to move them. You can't play out of the XL Center. Well, we got to move you. And again, but yet Arizona's allowed to play in this little dinky 4,500 seat college arena. It's to me it's crazy, and it's absolutely nuts. And yeah, to me, if you're even going to trying to think about moving the Winnipeg Jets, you move Arizona first. Deal with the Coyotes. Get them out of there first before you even try to say anything about the Winnipeg Jets not being viable. Because you have the Arizona Coyotes, a team that has been there for almost 30 years and has never, ever, ever drew a profit. They get kicked out of their own arena because they can't pay their bills. They go and they lose a public vote in Tempe. The people would have rather kept their landfill instead of having a nice arena district there. But, and they've been, we're going to have this. We're going to find this piece of land. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. What have you done so far? Nothing. But we're going to move the Winnipeg Jets. Garbage. Absolute crap. But let me know what you guys think. Hopefully you guys, stayed with me on this little rant and little tangent of mine, because I first heard about this and it ticked me off, and I knew I wanted to talk about it, and here I've kind of ranted about it. 26-minute rant here. But hopefully some of you can stick all the way through it, and see the passion that I have here. That I'm very passionate about a team that is still drawing double the amount of season ticket holders than Arizona is, but yet we're talking about how the long-term health of the Winnipeg Jets might be in question. But yet, nobody ever talks about the long-term health of the Arizona Coyotes. And that bugs the hell out of me. But, let me know what you guys think. Do you think I'm right on the money on here about, them talking about, the viability of the Winnipeg Jets when you have the Arizona Coyotes in this league and what they're drawing or not drawing? Or am I just, a complete lunatic? I'd love to know what you guys think in the comment section. But yeah, this is insane to me. Thinking that the Winnipeg Jets can't be viable, but yet the Arizona Coyotes, we're just gonna bend over backwards to make sure that they stay. But let's move Winnipeg out there the first chance. Let's move Winnipeg out of there the first chance we get. Let me know what you guys think though in the comments section. Please like this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button. Please also subscribe to the channel. It would be greatly appreciated. And if you want to share this video, if you're watching this video and you like it and you think other people need to see it, go ahead, share the video. Whatever video you want to share on the channel, from the channel, go right ahead. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. And yeah, that's kind of the end of my little my little tangent here. But again, before you even think about telling me that the Winnipeg Jets aren't viable long term, tell me that after you move Arizona out of there. Because you can't tell me that the Winnipeg Jets aren't viable while we still have the Arizona Coyotes in this league. So, let me know what you guys think. Hit like and subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated. And I will see you guys later.